Every great achievement in history started as a simple dream. From the tallest skyscrapers to the greatest inventions, everything we see around us was once just an idea in someone's mind. But what separates those who succeed from those who give up? It's not luck, nor is it talent. It's the courage to chase a dream despite obstacles. The world is filled with stories of people who turned their dreams into reality, even when everything was against them. Today, we'll dive into those stories, proving that no dream is too big and no obstacle is too strong if you truly believe. Dreams are the fuel that drives humanity forward. They are not just random thoughts that cross our minds. They are the blueprints of what our future can be. Every successful person you know, whether it's an athlete, an entrepreneur, a scientist, or an artist, started with nothing but a dream. The difference between them and the rest of the world? They refuse to let their dreams die. But let's be honest, chasing a dream is not easy. It demands sacrifice, patience, and an unshakable belief in yourself. Many people give up on their dreams the moment they face difficulties. They think success is reserved for the lucky few, for those born into the right circumstances. But history proves otherwise. Some of the most inspiring success stories come from people who had nothing, no money, no resources, no support, just a dream and the determination to make it real. In this video, we'll explore powerful real-life stories of individuals who overcame impossible odds to turn their dreams into reality. By the end, you'll understand that dreams are not just fantasies. They are possibilities waiting for action. In a small town in India, a boy named APJ Abdul Kalam grew up in a humble family. His father was a boat owner, and money was always tight. But young Kalam had a dream: to fly. He wanted to become a scientist and contribute to his nation. However, life was not easy. To support his education, he started selling newspapers at a young age. Despite financial struggles, he never lost sight of his goal. Kalam worked hard in school, spending hours studying and learning about science. Many people doubted him, saying that big dreams were not for kids like him. But he refused to listen. He believed that success is not about where you come from, but where you are determined to go. Years of dedication paid off when he became a top scientist in India's space program and later, the 11th president of India. Dreams do not require wealth, resources, or luck. They require dedication, hard work, and an unshakable belief in yourself. No matter how difficult your situation is, if you are willing to work for your dream, you can achieve the impossible. Your background does not define you. Your determination does. Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, was once labeled a failure. As a child, his teachers told him he was too stupid to learn anything. Instead of feeling discouraged, Edison focused on his dream: to create inventions that would change the world. But the path to success was filled with failures. One of his most famous inventions, the light bulb, was not an overnight success. In fact, Edison failed over 1,000 times before he finally created a working model. When asked about his failures, he simply said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." His belief in his dream was stronger than any failure. Because of his persistence, Edison went on to hold over 1,000 patents and became a symbol of innovation. Today, his inventions power our homes, cities, and industries. His dream not only changed his life, but also shaped the future of technology. Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, was once labeled a failure. As a child, his teachers told him he was too stupid to learn anything. Instead of feeling discouraged, Edison focused on his dream: to create inventions that would change the world. But the path to success was filled with failures. One of his most famous inventions, the light bulb, was not an overnight success. In fact, Edison failed over 1,000 times before he finally created a working model. When asked about his failures, he simply said, I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work. His belief in his dream was stronger than any failure. Because of his persistence, Edison went on to hold over 1,000 patents and became a symbol of innovation. Today, his inventions power our homes, cities, and industries. His dream not only changed his life, but also shaped the future of technology. J.K. Rowling, the woman behind the Harry Potter series, was once an unknown, struggling writer. She had a dream to create a magical world that people would love. But life was far from easy. She was a single mother, living in poverty and battling depression. She wrote her book in small cafes, using borrowed time while taking care of her baby. When she finally finished the first Harry Potter book, she sent it to publishers, hoping for a breakthrough. But instead of success, she faced 12 rejections. Every major publisher told her that her book would never sell. Most people would have given up after so much rejection. But Rowling refused. She believed in her dream and kept trying. Finally, after her 13th attempt, a small publisher took a chance on her. The rest is history. The Harry Potter series went on to sell over 500 million copies, making her one of the most successful authors of all time. Rejection is not the end. It's just a test of how much you truly want your dream. If J.K. Rowling had given up after the first rejection, the world would have never known Harry Potter. No matter how many times people say, "No," keep going until you get your yes. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was a man with a vision. He dreamed of creating technology that would change the world. In 1976, he started Apple in a small garage, and within a few years, it became a multi-million-dollar company. But success didn't last long. In 1985, he was fired from his own company after a conflict with the board of directors. Imagine building something from scratch, only to be thrown out of it. For many, this would have been the end. But not for Jobs. Instead of giving up, he started again. He built a new company called Next and later Pixar, which revolutionized the animation industry. Meanwhile, Apple was struggling without him. Eventually, in 1997, Apple invited him back, and with his leadership, the company launched the iPhone, iPad, and MacBook, making it one of the most valuable companies in the world. Sometimes, failure is just a redirection to something greater. Life may push you down, but if you have a strong dream, no setback is permanent. Jobs proved that true success comes to those who refuse to give up, even after losing everything. Chris Gardner had a dream to give his son a better life. But life was not kind to him. He lost his job, his wife left him, and he had no money. At one point, he and his young son had nowhere to live and had to sleep in public bathrooms, shelters, and even in his car. Despite these hardships, Gardner never let go of his dream. He worked as an unpaid intern at a stock brokerage firm, competing against people who had more experience and better connections. He spent his days working and his nights finding a safe place for his son to sleep. He never gave up, even when everything seemed impossible. After months of struggle, his hard work paid off. He was offered a full-time job as a stockbroker. Years later, he became a multimillionaire, the owner of his own investment firm, and an inspiration to millions. His life story was later turned into the movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, starring Will Smith. Your current situation does not define your future. No matter how hard life gets, if you hold on to your dream and work relentlessly, you can rise from nothing to greatness. Never stop believing in yourself, even when the world doubts you. Oscar Pistorius was born with a serious condition that led to both of his legs being amputated below the knees when he was just a baby. Most people would assume that a person without legs could never become an athlete. But Pistorius had a dream to run. Despite his disability, he trained harder than anyone. He used prosthetic blades to run, facing not only physical challenges, but also criticism from people who said he would never be good enough. He proved them wrong by competing in the Paralympics, winning multiple gold medals. But his dream didn't stop there. He wanted to compete against able-bodied runners in the Olympic Games. In 2012, he made history by becoming the first double amputee sprinter to compete in the Olympics. His story showed the world that true strength is not in the body, but in the mind. Limitations exist only if you accept them. No matter what obstacles you face, if you have the heart to fight, nothing can stop you from achieving your dreams. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, is one of the richest men in the world today. But before his success, he faced rejection again and again. As a young man, he applied for 30 different jobs, including at KFC, and got rejected by all of them. Even when he applied to Harvard University, he was rejected 10 times. Most people would have given up, but Ma didn't. Instead, he learned from failure and focused on his dream to create an internet business in China. In 1999, he started Alibaba from his small apartment, facing doubts and criticism. People told him that e-commerce in China would never succeed. But he believed otherwise and kept pushing forward. Today, Alibaba is one of the biggest companies in the world, making Jack Ma a billionaire and an inspiration to millions. His journey proves that rejection is not a reason to quit, it's a sign to try harder. Rejection is not failure, giving up is. If one door closes, knock on another and another until you find your way to success. The only person who can stop you from achieving your dream is you. Dreams are the foundation of greatness. Every invention, every breakthrough, and every success story you see around you started as a dream in someone's mind. But here's the truth, dreaming is easy, but chasing a dream is hard. The journey is filled with failures, rejections, setbacks, and moments of self-doubt. Many people give up when the road gets tough, but those who hold on, those who refuse to quit, are the ones who make history. Think about the stories we just shared: APJ Abdul Kalam, Thomas Edison, J.K. Rowling, Steve Jobs, Chris Gardner, Oscar Pistorius, and Jack Ma. None of them had an easy path. Each one of them faced challenges that would have broken an ordinary person. But they had something that made them extraordinary, an unshakable belief in their dreams. When Edison failed 1,000 times, he didn't see it as failure, he saw it as a step closer to success. When Rowling faced 12 rejections, she didn't stop writing. She believed in her story. When Steve Jobs was thrown out of his own company, he didn't lose hope. He started again. And when Chris Gardner had to sleep in bathrooms with his son, he didn't give up. He worked even harder. The world will test you. People will doubt you. You will face failures. But always remember, your dream is worth fighting for. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. What matters is how many times you get back up and keep moving forward. You are not too small to dream big. You are not too weak to achieve greatness. The only thing standing between you and your dream is your belief in yourself. So what will you do? Will you let obstacles stop you, or will you push forward no matter what? The choice is yours. Dream big. Work hard. Never give up. And one day, your story will inspire the world. Because dreams don't work unless you do.